Welcome my dears in this very interesting tutorial. So this time we will create together and step by step this great magazine cover using Photoshop. In this lesson you will learn and master different Photoshop techniques and multiple image editing techniques that every graphic designer will need. Before we begin, if you don't have the Adobe Photoshop installed in your machine, I place the link in the description below where you can download the last version of Adobe Photoshop for free. And if you encounter any problem installing the software or applying today's lesson, just leave me a comment and I will reply to help you. So let's get started. So we go to File, New. We will choose from the menu Print. We will choose the A4 format and 300 in the resolution with CMK Y in color. So we will create a gradient overlay to get a gray white background like this. And we go here, so we will choose something a gray which is very near to the white. So we will try to get this gradient overlay to the background, to apply it to the background, of course. We click OK here, and this is the results we get. And we will use this image here So we use the move tool and we move the girl image to our layer, to our background. We convert it to a smart object and using the combination Ctrl T from the keyboard, we transform it, we resize it a little, and we place it just in the center of our flyer and our cover, like this. And using the move tool and the direction keys from the keyboard, we can of course change its position as the right as the left. And now for now we will apply a drop shadow effect. Like you can see, we apply a drop shadow effect to the image, to the girl image. These are the editing and settings for our effects, for our shadow effects. So I think I exaggerate a little, so I will minimize the opacity of the effect. So I come back to the drop shadow effects and I will minimize a little, just a little, the opacity to make things looks more realistic and more near to reality, of course. That's fine now, and I will use from view this guide layouts. I will create these guides. These green lines are guides to help me to position all the content and elements I will use in this design. They will not be shown, of course, in the final result, in the flyer and the image results from this work, but they will be shown just in my editing to help me position all my elements. So I make a little zoom in and I will try to create a text layer. So I will create a first text layer which will be the title of our magazine. I will make it more bigger, like you can notice here. Like this. I will add a little space here with this manner here, like you can see. And using the move tool, I will move the text and place it at the right place. So I select the whole text and I will change it to fade. I mean, our magazine will have fade as a title, so I will make a little more space between characters. between the title characters. I make a little more space here. I minimize a little the space, and I will move the text and try to place it in the right position. So I push the text to the top a little, like this. Very good. So now I come back to the girl image. I will push it a little to the bottom using the direction keys from the keyboard, and using the move tool I will try to make it just at the center. First I will make it at the top of the text to hide the text. Like you can see now, the image girl is the top layer, and just exactly under it we can find the text layer. So like you can see, the girl image hide the text layer, so we position it exactly in the center of our cover to make the title of the magazine, the fade title, should be visible and should be readable. Everyone should read the title of the magazine. So here I think is the perfect position for our image. Very good. Now, so now we will come back to the text. We will edit it a little. So here I will change. That's great now. So I come back to the text, and I will use a drop shadow effect also for the text, but this time of course I will not use the black color, but I will use a white color, because you know the text the text have a red color. So for the shadow I think the white color will be very good. So I will add a little opacity to the shadow. Like you can see, this is the shadow effect we add with a white color. It gives us a very interesting effect on the text, of course. And using Ctrl G from the keyboard, I create a second copy from the text. I selection it, and I will write the number of this volume. So I will write, I have to make the text here very small. So I'm searching for this symbol here, and I will write, for example, the number. I will change the color to black one, and I will select the text, change here. I will change that and continue changing that with a black color, of course, and that's very good now. And I will place it here exactly as the bottom of the title of your magazine. I place the text here, of course. That's right. And using Ctrl G from the keyboard, I create a new copy from the text. I will call it June 2020, like this. Very good. So I will edit a little the size of the text. So I come back and I select the text another time. I push it to the top just a little and move the second text to the right until they have the same vertical position. And now I create a new text layer. I will write, for example, inspectable. which means a first title, a first big title in our cover magazine. So I will change the font. I will change this option for the font. So for the font, I think in my case I will use the Ubuntu font. You can choose any font you want, but just for an advice, don't use more than two fonts in your flyer or in your artwork. It makes choosing more than two colors make things looks not professional. So I advise you to choose just two kind of fonts. At maximum, you can add a third one, but not more than three. It will be, it will be it will be not good for your work to use more than three fonts. So I will write my word inspectable like this. I will try to make it more bigger, to make it more visible. And of course, move it using the direction keys from the keyboard, which gives you more control on moving objects, images, and text, of course. So I will write my paragraph, the huge comeback of sunglasses or of pearl sunglasses. So it is an article, a title of an a very interesting article that will be interesting for readers, of course, and it will help the magazine to be sold for so many readers. So it is an important text. So I use the Ctrl G from the keyboard and I create another copy, a new copy from the text. So this time I will call it last hits or last new hits. And in the paragraph I will write something like Gucci release it's some woman summer cap, which is also a very attractive paragraph, a very attractive text to make readers looks as the magazine and sell, of course, and buy our magazine. So we will try to make the text here, the second text, I will move it a little to the bottom. So in this manner here, like you can see. So another time I create another copy from the text and I will write 120 pages. So of course, when you want to create another copy from a text or an image or any layer you want, you just have to click to Ctrl G from the keyboard, and with this combination you create a new copy from any layer you want. So now we create a rectangle. We will choose for the rectangle a red color and we will push the text as the top of the rectangle. We will change the color of the text to white, and using the move tool we will try to position the text at the center of the rectangle like this, like you can see here. We move the text and the rectangle to the left and we will place it here. And this time we come back to the text. We will create a new copy from the text using Ctrl G, like I already said. I will call it inspiration. So now I will try to create a new copy from the rectangle, the red rectangle, using Ctrl G. I push the new copy to the top and I will move it with the text layer until I get the effect I am searching for. So I I edit the size of the rectangle using the Ctrl T from the keyboard, and I move the text a little to the right. I come back with the rectangle like this, like you can see here. I redimension the rectangle a little. So I select the rectangle and the text, and this one also I'm searching for the right position for my text and the rectangle, of course. So I select the two ones together with using the Control key from the keyboard. You can of course select more than one layer together, just holding the Control key from the keyboard and select the layers you want to edit at once. So I move the whole things together and place them at the right position. I think it is good for them, of course. So that's very fine now. So now I will try to that's very good now. So I will add another text layer this time. So I will write special. I will select this word and I will add more size, of course. I will make it more bigger like this. It is also a very important and very attractive word for my magazine cover. Like I already said, all these things are to attract readers. So I will apply another time a drop shadow effect for this text, and knowing that the text is with the white color, so for the shadow we will use of course the black color this time. We will use a shadow with a black color. We will play with the settings here for the opacity, the angle, the distance, the spread, the size. We have to edit here some edits. For the angle I will change it, for example, to 130. I will change also the distance, the spread to 100, the size to 5. And I think for the opacity, I will minimize the opacity a little to something like 70 or 75. And I change the spread of the shadow like this. I change the distance also. Also the angle of the shadow a little with the size. So be careful when editing the settings here for the shadow effects. Just try to make things like I did to get the right effects, the right shadow effects. Alright, we click OK now. So we will add a stroke. We will try to add with the effect, the shadow effects, we will try to add a stroke. So for the shadow effects, I will come back to the normal option and we will edit the opacity. So we will add a stroke effect with a white color or a black color, of course. So we will choose the outside type of stroke and we will choose of course the black color, and this is the result we get after applying a drop shadow effect and a stroke effect to our text. We get this grid effect. So we will try to find the right place to position our text. So we continue editing a little the text, and now I think everything is okay. I will add a little, just a little space between the characters of the text, and using the move tool I will try to place it here, and for now place it here, and I will of course create another copy from this text, this special text, with Ctrl G, and I will change the second text to mode to get the phrase special mode. So I will place it here, and I will use Ctrl G from the keyboard to create a second copy from it. Like I always mention, using Ctrl G from the keyboard makes you create a second copy, like you can see, with the same effects applied on the original text. So we will delete the text and we will write mode to get this special mode text. We try to position it in the right of the hand, of the girl hand. So now everything is okay. So I come back to the top layer, the first layer at the top. I selection the text here, move it a little to the top. The same thing with the text here, move it also to the top just a little. And this one here also. And now I think everything is okay, so just a little edits just about the position of every element in our design and in our artwork. We try to make this text a little smaller using Ctrl C from the keyboard. Like this. Very good now. All right. So for now I will use this barcode with the price of our magazine. So for copying this I will use the rectangle selection tool to select this rectangle shape and this rectangle image. Using the rectangle tool I will selection it, and I will use Ctrl C from the keyboard to copy it, and to place it in our design I will use Ctrl V of course. And the first thing I will do is convert it to a smart object first, and I will use Ctrl T from the keyboard to resize it and make it a little bigger to be shown clearly in our design. And we try to place it here. We will try to place it as the bottom of course, this barcode with the price of our magazine and so many other informations, important informations, to make things look legible. So for now we have to make this last layer more smaller using Ctrl T from the keyboard of course. So Ctrl T, we resize it, we make it more smaller, and with a little add-in width, and with the direction keys from the keyboard or using the move tool we place our layout and our layer. So for now we will remove the guidelines because we don't need them anymore, because we finalize our work. And like you can see, we get a very interesting magazine cover, step by step, from a blank document to this great and professional results. Alright guys, I wish you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to get the tutorials coming up. If you have any issues installing the software or applying today's lesson, just leave me a comment and I will reply to help you. Thanks for watching and see you in the next tutorials.